Hello guys, Fifth Wing here, and this is going to be a short video talking about Kretch the Summoner, and my thoughts on him moving forward. Now, I am going to have my opinions are going to be more focused on Bronze and Silver League, as those are the two leagues that I mostly play in, and here are my thoughts. Well, to put it bluntly, Kretch is useless. He's a useless summoner. The only reason why people ever talk about him as a high point or a pro in a video or a blog post is because he's cheap. He's a cheap summoner, and it's easy to build a deck in terms of raw power around him. However, the biggest problem is he doesn't compensate you in any other way. Yes, he costs 3 mana, he's a dragon card, and if you level that single summoner up, you can use any other Splinter monsters that don't have any problems. However, he doesn't give you anything else. He doesn't do anything. Outside of the battle, he gives you power and perhaps better flexibility. But the problem is when you actually play the game long enough, you notice that summoners can make or break a deck. In this case, he doesn't give you anything else. He can give you the flexibility to upgrade your monsters more, but he doesn't actually provide you in battle buffs. For example, we can look at Tarsa. She gives your monsters 1 extra melee and 1 extra heal. That's very useful. Even if my monsters are all starter kits, they're still gonna have a stronger edge than Kretch. Kretch is only going to be good for card power and perhaps flexibility, but in terms of the battle, when you actually use him, you feel like, wow, I could have had an extra ability. I could have had an extra buff somewhere, but he doesn't give you that, unfortunately. You rely a lot more on your raw monster levels. So if you level up Kretch, then it's going to assume that you have to have your monsters leveled up to that level. For example, we look at Kretch right now. His stat-wise, if you even have a level 1, the game expects you to have at least a level 2 common maxed out at a level 2 when you play the game in battle. Otherwise, you don't have any edge. So for any new players that are coming to the game and look at Kretch and people are telling them, oh, get Kretch, get Kretch. Well, if you're going to get Kretch, let's say you go to Silver, 5, 4, 3, 2, then you better actually level up your monsters as well. So even if he's cheap as a raw price point, right? He's like $12 at the making of this video, then the rest of your money is going to be spending on leveling up your monsters. Because if you don't even level up your monsters, then he's kind of pointless. The only reason why you would ever use him, ever, without any repercussions, is during the rule set where summoners don't give you buffs. That's probably the only rule set that would actually give you a slight edge, because Kretch doesn't give you anything. So the good news is that skill set doesn't give you anything either. So it's actually going to benefit you for raw monster levels. Now, disclaimer, I actually do have Kretch. I own 10 copies of him. This is my account. I own 10 copies of him. So technically, if I merge these all right now, I would have a maxed out silver. So I actually talk from my own actual experience. Whenever I play matches, I never actually use him, ever. Again, besides that no summoner buff rule set, I don't ever use him. So from my own experience, as a person who plays the game in Bronze and Silver League, he's pointless. He's pointless. I'd rather not play him. Every time I see my opponents, they always get some sort of edge. Even with a starter kit, it's still better than just having Kretch. So if you actually want my thoughts on how to approach this game, here's what you do. You wait for these prices to drop or become cheaper. Because right now, if you do the math, this is 120 for max silver. If you want to play Thaddeus Brood and maxed out on silver, he's actually around the same price. And he's actually pretty good. Price is misleading because magic is still very strong. And losing health, that's always going to be strong. I'd rather just pick up a maxed out silver for any of these cards than just to have a Kretch. And for anyone else saying that, oh, power, well, guess what, guys? Power is not everything. You can have all the power in the world, but if you have no synergy or no actual deck building skills, where your cards have 0 synergy with one another, and everything is just widely distributed, you're not going to win your matches. If you have one deck, let's say you had a maxed out Thaddeus Brood with maxed out death cards, you're going to have a better edge. Even when you play death, you're going to have a better edge because your cards are just stronger than a starter kit, at least in bronze and silver, okay? I don't know what's going to be like above gold. I don't ever play gold or higher, but this is my experience for bronze and silver. So if you are bronze and silver, then you will actually understand what I'm talking about. Like if you have a maxed out, card in bronze and silver, then you're going to have a much better time than someone who just buys, cards just for power. So that's my thoughts on that. So that's all I have for this video, and that's been all for this video.